welcome to the December 12th Sunday service, Blessing of the Animals. This is the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. My name is Ben Atherton-Zeman. I'm the minister here. It's so good to see you all, four-legged and two-legged, and there was going to be one fish. Let's see if the fish gets here. If you are new to this church, to this congregation, I want to give you a special welcome. If you want a church where love knows no gender, where we believe climate change science, where we believe that women's bodies are, and women's right to control your own bodies, I have good news. You may have found your church home. Thank you all for wearing masks. I realize I say this without wearing my mask, but once you get up here, the trick is you take it off and then you put it back on. If you don't have a mask, readers can give you one. I think they've hooked you up, and you see the nice signs that they've made at every other pew. Thank you, Steve, for putting down the caution tape to make that more clear. We will have one hymn indoors, and you can hum along with the hymn, but we encourage you not to sing along with the hymn. And then I believe we will be able to sing outside when we go, and it's hymn number 416, Old Macdonald. Okay, didn't know that was in the hymnal. We do need a couple more preschool and nursery volunteers, so if you like hanging out with babies and toddlers, please see Jeanay Johnson. She's the one who's about to wave her hand, I hope. There she is. Please see her if you're willing to do that. We just need it once a month. It's our final Sunday for the Toys for Tots collection, which you can't see the box for. It's to the left of the other box. But for the next 2 weeks, you can bring your Sunday undies and socks. I just like saying that. Donations, and that's I think that's the red box right there. Or am I getting it? Yeah, that's the red box. So that's there for 2 more weeks. Toys for Tots, 1 more week. Thank you, Susan, John, and James, for this gorgeous Christmas tree. Thank you. I quote here from Genesis 1, verse 3, "Let there be light." Susan had a great idea this morning. Next week, if you want, why don't you bring in an ornament? One ornament that tells us something about you, about your family, about your culture, and this is important, one you don't mind losing. So I'm not sure how the logistics will be of like everyone come get their ornament, people are traveling. Feel free to bring in ornaments and come up. Aaliyah will be leading the worship service, and put your ornament, put your stamp on the tree. I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Susan. I'm excited to be leading worship with Susan this morning, with Charlie, who is the being on the leash up there, you can't quite see. Beth Stombaugh as well is leading the service. Thank you so much, Beth. John Arterton and James Mack are providing music along with Ryan Smith, who you already heard on the piano. And Kelly Olson is live streaming right now. Hello to the land of YouTube Live, and thank you, Kelly. Jeanay Johnson is leading our Time for All Ages. Our greeters today are Cynthia and Robert Alisea and John Motter. Let us take a moment to center ourselves for the worship service.
So while Reverend Ben leads us in the lighting of the chalice, I invite you to follow along with the hand motions that he's been teaching us. The words to our chalice lighting are in your program. Love. Not quite ready.
Yeah. Oops, good.
Love is the spirit of this church. and service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Good morning. I recently shared something with Reverend Ben, and he asked me to tell you about it today. It's not specifically about animals, which is a surprise because generally everything with me is about animals. But I think you'll see a connection at the end. As a teenager, I lived in a house that was literally 12 feet from a railroad track out in the country. The house was next to a sawmill where my mother worked in the office. The house actually kind of came with her job. So I've watched trains up close, and I've listened to trains up close. Have you ever noticed that trains, freight trains, not passenger trains or Amtrak, are much noisier when they start up than when they're going along? When they start up, there's a huge bang, bang, bang right down the line. The couplings between the cars have about a foot of slack between each two cars. When the engineer wants to start the train, first they have to back the whole train up a bit, bang, 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 to take that slack out. And then when they're ready to go, they start moving forward, and those couplings snap into place very loudly. And the train starts moving literally one car at a time. So you hear the noise as it backs up and then again forward, banging down the line. I remember complaining about that noise, wondering why the train couldn't just start out at once with a tighter coupling so there wasn't all that racket. Well, unlike passenger trains like subways or Amtrak, freight trains can have hundreds of cars. The average freight train is actually almost 2 miles long. No locomotive can move that much weight from a standing start. They have to use the slack between the cars to get them moving one at a time. It's a noisy process. I've been thinking about the necessity of those flexible couplings as we're working on getting our church moving again. The inertia of being home for COVID for over a year and a half is a lot like the weight of all those freight cars. There are two pieces of the train's process that make it work. First is the concept of moving one car at a time. Just as no locomotive can move an entire freight train from a dead start, no minister, no church board, no committee, no team is going to get the church moving along all at once. It's going to be a process, and it's going to be noisy. The other concept that makes the trains move is that of slack, giving a little space and flexibility between the cars. Church obviously isn't a freight train, but I think it will work better if we all cut one another some slack, giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, being patient, allowing for time and missteps and learning as we move forward. That's cutting slack. Another word for that is grace. It's what makes the noisy, jumbled, stressful process of restarting church after a devastating couple of years and during a pandemic that is still devastating. It's grace that makes it possible, joyful, worth doing. And you know who has grace nailed? Our pets. No matter how often we feed them the same boring food every day, no matter how often we make them adjust to our schedules, like this morning, they're always there for us, forgiving us, loving us unconditionally. They're the masters of grace. That's why I always interpret blessing of the animals to be about the ways they bless us. As we try to build momentum, taking us into a beautiful future together here at UU St. Pete, let's remember all those trains and our animals and move forward bit by bit, giving one another grace. Now we get to kind of do a hymn together. John is going to lead us.
I invite you to hum along. This is hymn 354. We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need those friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the question of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll find a least even to question truly is an answer.
This is the time in our worship for joys, sorrows, and concerns. If you're watching this YouTube live, please type your joys and concerns into the text chat. For those of you here in the sanctuary, please raise your hand and Reverend Ben or I will bring you the microphone. We will hold the microphone while you speak, and Beth will place a stone in the water for you. Anyone can submit them during the week by writing to Reverend Ben.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Charlie. For those of you who are online, please note that in a minute, Kelly is going to mute the audio and you will see a screen. That's for confidentiality purposes for those saying joys and concerns. Hey, buddy, nice to see you here in the church. But first, don't mute it yet because I want everyone in the live stream to hear the joys, sorrows, and concerns that were submitted to us online this week. So first, a young gunman took the lives of 4 high school students in Oxford Township, Michigan, about a week and a half ago. So Beth, if you could just put a stone in the water for each of the 4 names of the 4 teenagers whose lives were taken. 16-year-old Tate Meyer, 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana, 17-year-old Madison Baldwin, and 17-year-old Justin Shilley. If you could please place a fifth stone for their families and for this community in Michigan, which is just the latest to suffer from our country's epidemic of gun violence.
Another stone for the more than 70 people killed in Kentucky and the surrounding states by tornadoes there.
Now you can mute the, yeah. The mystery is we are connected, even when we feel apart. Let us rejoice in the miracle that makes of the many one. So may it be.
Good morning, everyone. I brought my pen. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jeanay Johnson, and I'm the Religious Education and Communications Coordinator here at our wonderful historical monument known as Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. I'm here to share some words with you today. So, fun fact, this church was actually built 10 years before this wonderful movie came out in 1939. Really? So, when I think about Susan's story about the trains, I couldn't help but also think of the Yellow Brick Road. Y'all saw my dog Tola, right? He's not really talkative, and he certainly doesn't break the bank, I tell you that much. But I had to recall another girl who embarked on a journey, on a full-fledged journey, because of the love of her dog. Anybody remember how that even got started, her going on that journey? Her puppy nipped at the ankle of that mean lady, and then she wanted to leave. She wanted to leave because of her dog. It's a different type of love what we have for our pets. So one thing I would definitely learn about our pets is don't cross an owner of the beloved four-legged toddler baby child planet. So Dorothy found herself wanting to be away from everyone and everything. But the one thing she knew she could count on was her little totem. With this past year, months and days and hours and seconds, tick-tock, much has made us feel like Dorothy. I wanted to pack up and hit the road with our beloved pets. Why not? Many of us even picked up some rescues and brought them home. They may not be able to talk the way that we talk, but they sure know how to communicate with us, and we know that universal language with them. So, back to the story about Dorothy. She ran into a sidekick in the side of a trailer, and he said something about going on a mission to find something that she already has, something like that. And you know how the story goes from there. So bam, she has to go to Oz by following the Yellow Brick Road. As she proceeds on this road, she runs into aspects and characteristics of herself represented by people she was close to. Each person joined her on her journey, no clue of what to expect, no clue that she would come or they would join, no clue of the challenges they may face. Well, except for one, the lion absolutely was up for anything that came forward. And they proceeded together. As I think of the Yellow Brick Road and their journey with one another, I noticed that in the time and space, they had to have faith to follow a path, the unknown. I mean, really, they had no idea what to really expect. You have to have the complete trust or confidence in someone or something to do something like that. Makes me think about those trains again and the fact that they are 2 miles long. Imagine the patience and work people have to put in one another to get those train cars flowing. Back to the story. They trusted that one foot would move in front of the other, and they would keep moving forward. They encountered troubles along the way, but they stuck together, exercising the tools that they already had to conquer the quest that they embarked on. Now, to be honest with you, sidebar, I was going to have a sound effect play a dog sound and bark, but I did not want to set the dogs off today. So, about this story, they trusted the company of one another to help one another when one stalled and everyone needed to catch up. They took the time to pick one up when one was down, to hug one when one cried, and to oil up when he got a bit tight. This entire journey that they traveled to find something in ours that they already had all along was part of their mission, part of their journey together. Though the journey is tough and we don't know where we're heading, we don't know where we're going, we do know we have our friends, our furry friends, our fluffy friends, our fishy friends, our friends that have skin just like ours. Whether they're family by blood or by spirit, our congregation, ourselves. We have everything that we need on this yellow brick road. And what more of an amazing journey we take on with our beloved pets by our side. So, say goodbye, Toby. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanay. Thank you, Toto. Jeanay spoke about Dorothy's journeys, and we've all been on journeys. I've been on many a journey, and when I come back to my house in Maynard, Massachusetts, my dog Lufa greets me she greets me like it's the best thing that's ever happened, me coming home, even if I've just been gone for an hour and I've just gone to Stop and Shop. She wiggles, she licks, she jumps, she makes this little like, For the first few years of Lufa's life, she's 11 years old now, but for the first few years, if I had been gone for longer, for a few days, we had to kind of carefully choreograph it, because I had to get her outside first and then greet her, because she would inevitably pee. Dog owners maybe can relate to this. I love that bumper sticker, and maybe you've seen this, that says, "God help me to be the person my dog thinks I am." Now in the Hebrew Bible, Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 quotes God as saying, "Let humankind have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." Now, our roots in Unitarian Universalism are Judeo-Christian, but our modern theology probably wouldn't use the word dominion. The Christian Science Monitor wonders if there is a deeper, more sustainable aspect of dominion, including a sense of service to one's fellow creatures, and even a compulsion to protect those who cannot protect themselves. At the Boston University School of Theology, I learned that the word dominion is a translation of the Hebrew radah. Some scholars contend that translation of radah to dominion is inaccurate. They say radah is also used in Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 4, where God is condemning uncaring shepherds who rule too harshly and brutally over their flock. For those of you who appreciate this kind of scriptural analysis, maybe we should do it more during a time when the room isn't full of animals. And those of you who just left or are falling asleep or are checking your phones, this is what my life was like at divinity school. You just got a small taste of it. You're welcome. Now, as I said, in Unitarian Universalism, our theology is not one of dominion, it is theology of connection. Our seventh principle speaks of a respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. That's a lot of prepositions, but the words are well chosen. It doesn't say, you'll notice, the interdependent web of all humanity, or even the interdependent web of all existence, or sorry, of all beings. It says existence. The interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. So it urges us both to respect the web and admit we are part of the web. Now, when I talk about interdependence, which I do a lot, I often quote the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. You know, the verbs that King uses here, caught, tied. King follows this with what affects one directly affects all indirectly, and precedes these words with the immortal words, and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Do you feel part of a web? I do too. Did it hurt you to hear about the 4 teenagers, about those who lost their lives in the tornado? Did you feel like it hurt you personally? Because I did. Maybe being part of this web brings us not only pain, but joy. Because when I look at cat videos on the internet, I mean, that's not my cat. I've never met that cat. I will never meet that cat. And yet it fills me with joy. So if what affects one directly affects all indirectly, maybe every time Lufa greets me when I come home, the soaring love in my heart echoes into the world. Maybe each time these animals in the room give us the gifts of their love and their presence, the interdependent web is strengthened. Maybe the grace Susan just spoke about, these animals bless us with. Bless not just us as individuals, but all of us. Maybe someday the armies of the world will stop in their tracks in awe at the beautiful sight of a dog hiding behind a Christmas tree, shaking, wagging its tail. Mother Goddess, Father God, Spirit of Life, you're known by many names, or sometimes by none at all. Please help me be the person my dog thinks I am. Amen. And blessed be.
To keep our congregation thriving, let us remember our connection to one another. And let us not forget our contributions to support the means to those connections. If you are a newcomer here today, when our wonderful ushers bring the collection plates to you, please let them pass you by. This service is our gift to you, and your presence here is your gift to us. If you're watching today on a mobile device or your computer, the link to give is in the description box below your screen. You can also donate through the Vanco Faith Engagement mobile app or on the website under the Giving tab at uusaintpete.org or by sending a check to the church office. Many thanks.
So now's what we're all waiting for, right? Our blessing of the animals takes form kind of like a little parade, so everyone gets to see the animals. What we'll do to show our appreciation for our pets is that if you brought a pet, or if you have a picture of your pet, or if you just want to say your pet's name and have them acknowledged, please line up and come down this side here on your right, like we used to do for Joys and Concerns. Come right along here, come up to the microphone, tell us your pet's name, and maybe how old they are, or something very brief about them. Then, Reverend Ben, if you walk over here, Reverend Ben will give them a blessing of gratitude to let them know how much we appreciate them. And Beth has a little special treat for them. It's in a baggie, so you can decide. It's got a dog treat and some kitty treats and a joke for the people. So if you want to bring them around this way, that'd be great.
Just one or two, that's fine too. Yeah.
Oh, and then after you get your treat, walk down the center aisle, and you can just keep on going out the door. All you'll miss is the extinguishing of the chalice, and then we'll be out there to join you.
Sing hymn number 416. Oh, Macdonald. Oh, it's a greeter.
Charlie sees his friend, doesn't he?
Come on, baby. Hang out here. Oh, hello, baby.
Okay, who is this?
This is Maybelline. She's 3 years old, and as you can see, she's a very active little girl.
Hi, Maybelline. You want a
She's a
blessing?
dog.
Maybelline. Hey, honey, blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us.
Now you get a.
Mabel, let's
You get a gift. You get a gift. You get a gift.
Hi, this is Benny. Benny's a 10-year-old. He's a very sweet guy, and he just loves to go for walks.
Benny, blessings on you.
Great.
Thank you for blessing us. Thanks, Matt.
I'm Mike, and this is Phoebe, and her other dad is back there, John. He's a wonderful guy. Anyway, Phoebe is 6 years old. She's a mixed dog, a rescue, and she likes to chase her ball into the water or wherever you throw it.
Hi, Phoebe. Phoebe, you want to say hi, baby? Blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us.
She knows. Thank you.
There's a picture of my sweet cat, smiling and crying. They are 10.5 years old.
Callie, blessings on you. Thank you for blessing us.
This is Jeanay. She's a rescue. She turned 7 2 days ago.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jingle.
What's your first name again? Jingle. Hi, Jingle. Blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us, honey. What is that? Good sit. Good job with your sit. Good job with your sit. Your dad might give you a treat now. It's not going to be me. It's going to be him.
Very food motivated.
He's got it now. He's got it now. See where it is?
No more food.
It's Maury, right?
Maury. Hi, Maury. Blessings on you.
This is Whiskey. He's 3. This is Emma. She's 6.
I know. Now you want it. Now you're interested.
Emma looks like a Sharpay.
Sharpay. What's his name? Emma. Emma. Blessings on you. Thank you for blessing us.
So this is Riley. Riley's 7 years old and a terrier mix, and we have it on good authority that his mother was a pit bull.
Yes, I can see it. Riley, have blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us, baby.
This is Frank. He's a Yorkie mix rescue, and he's my best friend.
What's the first name?
Frank.
Hi, Frank. Remember me? Blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us.
I brought photos of my two kitties, Honeydew and Jeanay. They're 12 years old.
Honeydew, Jeanay, blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us.
This is Baxter. He's 7.5, and today was actually Adoption Day anniversary. So I got him 6 years ago, and he was arrested.
All right. Baxter, blessings on you. Thank you for blessing us. No.
I can't. This is Molly and Poppy. Poppy is an Italian Greyhound. Molly is some kind of terrier Chihuahua. And she runs the house, basically.
And this is a painting done of them by a dear friend of ours.
Molly, Poppy, blessings on you. Oh, sorry.
You should be grateful they're not here.
We are.
Poppy would be perfectly fine. Blessings on you both. Thank you for blessing us.
This is a picture of my super bratty cat. His name is Tigger. He's 4 years old, and I think he will always be a kitten. And he will probably always be in trouble. So please bless him. He needs it.
He needs blessings. All right, Tigger. Blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us.
This is Minnie. Many of you have met her in Zoom already, and she's 10.5.
Many blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us. Please, Karen.
Hi, this is Gracie. And she's too exuberant to be here. She's a rescue pup, 4 years old, and the sweetest dog ever, but she wouldn't do well here. She would want to lick everybody here, so anyway, she's my client. I love her.
Gracie, is it? Gracie, blessings on you, and thank you for blessing us. Yes, I did.
We have pet fish, and I forgot their names.
So bless them.
But one of them is big, one of them has polka dots on it, and it's a goldfish. All three of them.
Don't you bless them on your phone?
I don't have a picture of my pet, but my cat Riley, his name was Riley Twinkle Toes McGee III, aka Bandit, and he was a Siamese kitten, and he passed away a couple of years ago. But he was my darling sweet. So just want to give blessings to my lovely sweetheart.
Riley Twinkle Toes Bandit, I bless you and I thank you for blessing us. Same with the fish.
And I saved the best dog in the world for last. This is Charlie. This is Charlie. And Charlie got a special Christmas present last year. I gave him a kitten, and he named it Joe Biden. And now they are best friends, and they're my best friends too.
Blessings on you, blessings on Joe Biden, both the county and the man. And thank you for blessing us.
Thank you, everyone.
Susan, if you wouldn't mind extinguishing the chalice, you and Riley. I wish for you all the kind of love in your life that my dog Lufa has for me. If for even one moment of this week you can feel a love like that, and a love like I was feeling down there, and experience that love, may you carry it through the week, and may it carry you through the week until we meet again. In a minute, we're going to go outside to sing Old Macdonald. But first, it says the words can be found in the order of service, but I don't think that's true. That's from last week. First, our chalice extinguishing hymn. For simplicity's sake, we got some feedback. We're going to go back to the old chalice extinguishing, the shorter one. So it is not by me, as it says in your order of service. It is by Elizabeth Sella Jones, and it's number 456 in the gray hymnal. But feel free to continue the hand gestures. Those of you who are new, next week maybe I'll have the hand gestures. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Here I go. Let's do it on your left. Thank you. Oh, you all right? Is that okay back there? Hey guys, I think we'll go around here to the grass to sing.
Oh, you're holding it.
I am, hopefully not too unsteadily. What was your name again, young lady?
Oh, sorry, Kelly.
You're fine. Kelly, nice to meet you. Want to stay for Old Macdonald? You gotta go.
Sure. I was about to go.
Ah, caught you. Great. Let's go. Kelly, if you could help me make the far side of the circle. Oh, God, I'm dragging you around. You got a thing on your foot.
I've been going out with it.
What happened?
I just tripped. It was so unlikely nothing. I wish it was a better story.
Oh, well, no, it's a pretty good story. You live close by, or?
Yeah, I'm over like middle of Central. And then nice.
Yeah, I'm right in between. I'm on like, excuse me one sec. Oh, okay. Here I'm on 5th Avenue North, right near like 38. I'm also right.
Yeah, I'm right on 50 Oh, moving over here actually.
I'm so jealous. Where are you moving to?
What have you rolled border called? I want to see your address.
Yeah, right. Tell me later where you're moving to. All right, I guess we can tighten up a little. So I'm gonna move in the camera to the shade. It's our first time we've continued the live stream out to the front.
Oh, I see. Is she true? Well, she is to me, yeah.
One of them
Yeah, whenever you want to go.
Okay, ready, everybody?
Ready.
Old MacDonald
Had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm he had some.
Oh dear. Gee, I can't think of.
Dogs. He had a bunch of dogs.
A what? A dog. And on that
Farm he had a dog, E-I-E-I-O, with a whoop whoop here and a whoop whoop there, here a whoop, there a whoop, and here a whoop whoop. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a cat, E-I-E-I-O. With a meow meow here and a meow meow there, here a meow, meow, everywhere a meow meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a fish, E-I-E-I-O. With a blub blub here and a blub blub here, here a blub, here a blub, everywhere a blub blub. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a bird, a bird, E-I-E-I-O. With a chirp chirp here and a chirp chirp there, here a chirp, there a chirp, everywhere a chirp chirp. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a hippopotamus, E-I-E-I-O. With a hippo there and a hippo there, here a hip, everywhere a hip, hip. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Last one, who's got a good one? Okay, 1 second. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a zebra, E-I-E-I-O. With a there, here, everywhere. Old MacDonald had a farm,
E-I-E-I-O.